Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, I hope you're having a fantastic day and a great start to your weekend. My name is Teresa and I love all things makeup, beauty and skincare. So on the weekends I like to hang out with you guys and talk about the newest releases that we have collectively found rather interesting. And to do that, you guys are so fantastic. You DM me, you tag me in the newest releases, and your names are being displayed right now. I so appreciate all of the work that you guys put into that. And I have to say a massive thank you to my YouTube community members. You're rather excellent. And I'm hoping I might do like a YouTube live with you guys tomorrow on a Sunday around about noon Irish time to just like hang out with you guys. We'll see how we're feeling. And by we, I mean I. But your names are being displayed right now. I so appreciate all of your support. It's rather fabulous. But we do have quite a few things to talk about. In particular, a lot of indie makeup releases, so I highly recommend that you get yourself a beverage. I've chosen tea and possibly a snack to settle down, and we'll get straight on into it. So the very first thing that we're talking about is Klarity Cosmetics, and they kind of said that they were coming out with some mermaid themed palette. They've done this before. They've had like sea witchy type things. They had their So Mermazing palette, which was beautiful. That was about, I want to say 3 years ago or so. And actually it seems to be that the So Mermazing palette kind of inspired this because they've taken their So Mermazing and kind of revamped it, kind of changed it around a little bit. But they have 3 palettes as part of this collection, and it's called the Mermaid Dreams collection. You guys know I am an affiliate, so my code does get you, I think it's 10% off. It's just my name. Anyways, there's the palette Mermazing, which is $48. There's 6 mattes, 2 multi-chromes, 1 duochrome, and 3 shimmers. There's the Return to the Sea. Now the Return to the Sea is like the revamped So Mermazing. That's also $48. So that's 5 duochromes, 1 multi-chrome, and 6 mattes. And the last one, which I think is quite interesting because it's like the darker version of the Mermazing palette, it's called The Lost Kingdom and it's $50. There's 4 mattes and they're put down as being pressed pigments, 3 multi-chromes, 4 duochromes, and 1 shimmer. Now I also kind of wondered, were they going to do some sort of a bundle price? And it seems to be that they are, because they can bundle all 3 of them together for $130. Now keep in mind that if you're getting the bundle, you can't use any other codes on top of that. So no affiliate codes, etc. will work because they've essentially brought it down to be the lowest possible price. Oh my goodness, I think this is really pretty. I'm going to talk about maybe the Mermazing palette first. So that's kind of the kind of paler purple one. And I like that they have a kind of slightly paler one. It's not super pale, but it's kind of paler than what they would usually do. And I love how that links in very much with the Lost Kingdom. I have some pictures here from Deandra Nicole. You guys know I really enjoy her pictures on Instagram. She swatches these really beautifully. And you can see just how pigmented they are even on a deeper skin tone. And I mean, this is what you get with a POC owned brand. They're just fantastic with their pigments. I really like the look of this. And can I also say, I took some pictures from their Instagram and I'm going to show you guys these now. And they have shown them across a variety of skin tones. And I just think this looks very pretty. It's probably more of a paler color story than we've seen from them in the past. And I kind of like that they're kind of doing that, but they also have the deeper one as well. I feel like $48 for 12 shadows when you're looking at duochromes and mattes and some multi-chromes and shimmers, that's not bad at all. It's working out as being about $4 per shade, and I do think it's very pretty. I personally love mixing purples and blues and greens together. I think they look very nice, and I appreciate the fact that if we look at, say, the blues, there's a light blue there and then there's a slightly like deeper blue, not super deep, but you've enough there to kind of do some stuff there. Same with the green. What I think is very strategic about this is the fact that this pairs so well with the Lost Kingdom, which is the next one that I want to talk about. And you can see how this is so much deeper in terms of color. And the Lost Kingdom is a little bit more expensive. It's $50, and that's because there's 4 matte pressed pigments, there's 3 multi-chromes, 4 duochromes, and 1 shimmer. So there's much more kind of special shades in this one. I think you can really see that this one you can pair very well with the Mermazing palette because you have a lot more light shades in the first palette, and this one is like your deeper darker, right? You've that deep dark blue that you could put in with the pale blues from the Mermazing. I love the mix of shimmers in here. Now you guys know I prefer kind of about a 50-50 split of mattes to like more special shades, and this is definitely not a 50-50 split. There's 4 mattes to kind of like shimmer, multi-chromes, etc. So it's about a third of the palette is mattes. But I kind of feel like if you mix that with the previous palette, you've kind of got what you need I really, really like this, and I feel like it swatches really, really well. Oh, I love that they're doing the bundle because I was really hoping that they would. It's so, so smart. I was very, very nervous when they said that they were going to do a mermaid collection because I was like, lads, you've done so many blues. What else can you do? And I like that they kind of did a little bit of a twist on this, and I can see the mermaid inspiration. And then the last palette that they have is the Return to the Sea. So that is the original So Mermazing. So they have those original shades, but they've added in 2 extra shades. This is also going to be $48. There's 5 duochromes, 1 multichrome, and 6 mattes. Now I have the original So Mermazing, so I'm looking at this and kind of going, I don't need it. However, I think this looks so, so beautiful. I love those mix of pinks and greens and those kind of like more pastel-y tones. I just feel like this is a really, really, really nice launch. When I got the So Mermazing palette, unfortunately a couple of the shades had arrived shattered. It's just there's such like a loose formula. That's what happened. So there's part of me that's like, maybe I should get this. Do I need this? No, I absolutely don't. I literally have most of these shades. It's just the 2 new shades that I don't have, but I'm also like, ooh, this is so pretty. I feel like they've done this so, so well. I was, again, quite nervous thinking, Jesus, you're going to do stuff that's really redundant. And I'll say it. If I think it's redundant, I'll say it. I think this is quite nice. I'm wondering if they've changed around the formulas of the multi-chromes, etc. Because as I said, they did arrive shattered. I also think that she's been putting in an awful lot more effort when it comes to the packaging. Like you can see everything is like double and triple wrapped. So I'm kind of intrigued by this. I also love that this palette in particular, I could use this with a couple of Give Me Glow Cosmetics palettes that I have. Because there's one I think it's like Vivid Rose and it has like pinks and greens, and I feel like this would go really, really well with it. I think this is just a really nice collection and they did really, really well. I think I probably will end up getting this. I do have most of Klarity stuff. I'm pointing at my bookshelf, which does not function as bookshelf. Whoopsies, but I think it does look really pretty, so I think I will end up getting it. And as I said, $130 for 3 palettes, and you're getting like 12 shades in each, so that's 36 shadows for $130. So that's like less than $4 a shadow. That's not bad. Like mathematically, that's not too bad at all. I had actually finished filming and I was just going to start editing, and Cosmic Brushes gave a full reveal of their 2 new palettes, the Nudetrals and the Cooltrals. So I figured I'd share that with you guys. They are available the 21st of June, 6 p.m. UK time, and they're both £28 each. The Nudetrals is a £20 palette that has 14 mattes, 2 multichromes, 1 duochrome, and 5 metallics, while the Cooltrals is also a £20 palette. It has 14 mattes, 1 foiled multichrome, 1 duochrome, 1 iridescent metallic shimmer, and 5 metallics. Again, £28. And they look so, so, so gorgeous. They're so affordable. My gorgeous friend Tia, you guys know her. She's been on this channel before. She is an affiliate with the brand, and if you use her code, you'll get 10% off and she'll get a commission from it. So her code is Tia10. I highly recommend using it. Oh my God, I had so many hopes as to what these would look like. And somehow this is even better. They are so, so gorgeous, because I was like, there's so many like neutral palettes coming out, and are they like interesting enough? Do they have like a little bit of an edge? And these are absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to talk about the Nudetrals one first. Oh my goodness. Like they showed us the top right hand corner first and I was like, okay, that is looking really, really nice. And now that I've seen the rest of it, the fact that there's greens, there's purple, there's these like really rich, warm toned like browns in there. This is just, it's so beautiful. And I love that she has a really good mix of the mattes to like the shimmers. Like there's 14 mattes, so that's enough to build a really, really good look from. I like that sort of a percentage there. I'm honestly a little bit confused as to how she manages to make it be £28. Like it's a bit like whatever. It's going to be about 35-ish euro by the time it like goes through customs, etc. for us. Oh my goodness though, the green tones, the fact that you could make like a warm grungy kind of thing out of that you have your blacks in there. You know I love a black in a palette. This is just so, so beautiful. She's never done like a neutral palette before, and I feel like she's really knocked this out of the water. There's bits of this that reminds me a little bit of like the Natasha Denona Yucca palette, you know, those gorgeous kind of almost like warm toned greens. This is how you do a neutral palette and make it really interesting. The thing is, she's got like loads and loads of like colourful palettes and they've all been absolutely gorgeous, but I know a lot of people have been looking for neutrals from the brand because neutrals are becoming more and more relevant within the beauty community. It's just kind of like, like that ebb and flow where you go from very, very colourful to more like neutrally type looks, which is why you've seen more of the like clean girl aesthetic occurring in the last couple of months. And I think a lot of people have been wanting to get something neutral from the brand because A, it's affordable, B, the quality is amazing, and C, they always do like a little twist. And I think this is going to be crazy, crazy successful. I'm genuinely so excited about this. I will 100% be picking that up. She also showed the Cooltrals one, so I'm going to show this to you guys now. I kind of envisioned a lot more like greyish tones. This has definitely gone more purpley leaning. And don't get me wrong, it's absolutely gorgeous. I do think it's stunning. I think there's an element of this that is probably a little bit too close to both the Gothic and the Winter Wonderland, in my opinion. Like, do they necessarily dupe each other? No, but I think she could have gone a little bit more into the grey tones, because it's really, really hard to find like a truly cool toned neutral palette, and this isn't like a cool tone neutral. There's some of it in there that are definitely like cool toned. Like there are some like blue toned greys in there for sure. There's actually like a couple of swatches out that remind me a little bit of the old school Urban Decay Smoky palette. If you know, you know. And I kind of appreciate that. Like there are some genuine neutrals that you could use from that. I do think it's absolutely stunning. Like I will be getting it. I think she could definitely still push the boat out a little bit more and have a truly cool toned neutral, because as I said, that's just really hard to find. You don't find that many of those these days. And yes, there are aspects in there that do it. But I mean, to be fair, she obviously seems to really like purple tones. And purple tones are very, very difficult to formulate and not have them be patchy. But I mean, these look absolutely so, so gorgeous. They haven't said anything about bundling the palettes together. I don't know if they'll do that. I think that would be such a smart idea if they like bundled them for like, I don't know, £53 or something instead of the £56. Because I mean, they're already selling them at like such a good rate anyway, and you can get the 10% off with the affiliate codes. Like I said, Tia has one, so I would highly recommend using that. I'm going to be using that to get both of these. I have very quickly become a collector of cosmic brushes. I just think their quality is astounding, and I have a few friends who got these in PR, and I've been very jealous, of course, but so glad that they've gotten them. And of course they have already kind of told me, yeah, the quality is there. You're talking about some good palettes. So I'm excited. I'm glad that they've kind of given enough time for people to kind of process. Like there's 7 days as I'm filming until the release date, so that's enough time for people to kind of figure out, do I really want it? What's the story here? Can I dupe it? Etc. I don't like when a brand just kind of like launches something and doesn't give you any time to think about it. Whereas this, you definitely have some time to think about it. I think it's really pretty. I think probably the one that I would want that little bit more, weirdly, is the Nudetrals, just because I think that's that little bit more unique. And the Cooltrals feels a little bit redundant in the back catalogue of cosmic brushes, but if you've never bought from them before, this might be the good one to start on. I think it's absolutely stunning. Really, it's kind of gone beyond what I thought it could have been, particularly the Nudetrals one. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. I'll definitely be getting it. It's so gorgeous. But we have another neutral palette, and this time it's from Kaima Cosmetics, and this is their Boujee Boudoir Neutral Glam Eyeshadow Palette, and it's apparently going to be limited edition, and it's $50. I have to say, I think this looks really, really pretty. I have one palette from Kaima Cosmetics, and I do really, really like it. I think I need to do maybe a swatching Sundays on it at some point, because it is very, very pretty. This is giving me Bella Beauté Bar, and I don't say that as a bad thing, because I think Bella Beauté Bar are really, really good, but there's something about this that makes me think of Bella Beauté Bar. I like that there's quite a bit of cool tones in this. There's kind of pops of this that are very reminiscent of ABH's Sultry. Do you remember the Sultry palette? Oh, what a time to be alive. But I feel like there's little bits of that in there. I love the kind of cool tones, those little pops of blue and little kind of greeny tinges of neutral. Like they're neutral, but with a really interesting lean into neutral. They haven't shown many swatches, but what they have shown, they've shown in like different lights, like some with very very high lighting and then some with more like dark light. And you guys know, if you watch my swatching Sundays, that's really helpful because seeing it across lots of different lights helps you to pick up, for instance, the amount of shimmer, the amount of glitter, metallics, etc. that's in them. And they do look very, very pretty. And you can see kind of the distinctions when they're swatched as to which is more of like a cool tone and which is more of like a bronzy gold here. I like the look of these. Do I necessarily need it? No. And I do try to talk myself out of things. I'm not wildly successful on these things, if I'm 100% honest. But I think it does look really nice. I think my one thing would be that they could maybe do with 1 or 2 extra shades in terms of their mattes as depth, because a lot of those mattes look quite light. Like the shade Ecstatic is, I think, one of the deeper ones, and there's a shade there that I can't quite make out. It looks like it's a black, but I kind of feel like they needed to have like a really deep, dark brown, like a very, very deep brown, and Ecstatic doesn't quite hit that. So I kind of wish they had that, but that's me being, again, pernickety, because that's what I do. I feel like it's like 90% perfect, but not like 100%. I feel kind of bad for Kaima Cosmetics because they're coming out with this and showing this at the same time as cosmic brushes. And cosmic brushes kind of have so much goodwill. Everyone really tends to enjoy them, and they're quite affordable, but they always have that pop of something different. And I think if they'd come out with this maybe 2 or 3 months ago, this might have been a little bit more successful. I still think it'll do really, really well, but it is more difficult to kind of come out with a palette when everyone else is kind of doing something quite similar. But it just shows this is part of the trend. We're going to see a lot of more like neutral toned palettes. So for those of you who are like into the colour, my gorgeous friend Chloe Demure, Wilma, etc., I know you're sitting there kind of going, not for me, thank you very much. In which case, fantastic. Wilma, for instance, is moving, so she doesn't need any more expenses. So, you know, you can cool your jets. You don't need to get anything. So it's all good there. But I do think this is potentially quite interesting. I have found with even the Kaima Cosmetics palette that I do have, it's one of those ones that's more interesting when you see it. So I'll be really interested to see some additional swatches, seeing it across lots of different light, because I am nosy as always. Then we have Clionadh Cosmetics, and years ago, and I'm talking years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I have those original palettes. They came out with the Archeo and the Paleo, and they were like these handmade palettes. They were beautiful, very crafted. As I said, I have those original ones. They're sitting in my collection over there. Again, I keep looking to my left as if you guys know what I'm looking at, but it is there. And they teased, I think maybe was it 2 or 3 months ago, they showed like an O, and of course I read it as being like a V because I'm stupid, and they said that they were coming out with something to kind of link in with that, and I think it's kind of cool that they're going back to that. So they're re-releasing the Archeo and the Paleo, but it looks like they've got like imprints on them, because I don't remember them having imprints, or maybe they did, but I just used it to the point that it didn't have imprints. Also, unfortunately, one of mine did arrive smashed, so it was a bit of a sad moment. It also looks like you can actually take out these, which is quite cool. But the new palette that they've introduced along with the Archeo and the Paleo is the Oceano. They have said that it's going to have like a soft launch at the Beauty Experience Paris. So that has apparently happened this weekend, but they're officially launching on their website on Friday, July 5th. So I guess if anyone is in France this weekend, well, you're not watching this. You're doing fabulous things. You're getting croissants and pain au chocolat and apparently eyeshadow palettes. But you could be there to check that out. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of like that they're bringing that back. I love a good eyeshadow palette. I feel like obviously the Archeo and the Paleo, people were looking for those to come back, and I really appreciate the fact that a brand will listen to their consumers. Well, hey, we love that. The Oceano, I can kind of see where it's linking in there, and you know, they have that link in with those kind of prehistoric kind of things. I don't know, it just doesn't grab me. It just shows how much like makeup tastes change over time, because I went bananas over these, but I also think I was just very, very influenced at the time, because I remember Angelica Nyqvist talking about it and being like, oh, and she got them because she's always been like a big Clionadh Cosmetics fan, and she was you know, getting them, and I did the thing of like, Regina George wore cargo pants and flip-flops, so I got cargo pants and flip-flops. I did the same thing, so I went off and I bought these palettes, and I do like them, but I don't think I needed them. I mean, to be fair, I have a collection that I don't need a lot of things, but I am looking at this and I feel quite safe. Like, I'm not sitting here kind of going, oh my god, I definitely need this. I feel this is definitely for the hardcore collectors of the likes of Clionadh. I'm sure there are a few out there. They haven't given any information as to what this is going to cost. I suspect it's going to be quite expensive, but I also remember the original Archeo and Paleo. It was before they started doing their really interesting, you know, like their stained glass formulas. So they'd be, I think it's quite... It's interesting coming out with old stuff from like 5 or 6 years ago. And I want to know, did they update the formula? Have they added maybe something a little bit different? Because in my mind, if you're coming out with older palettes, well, they're not older palettes. They're obviously, as in older styles of palettes with, you know, the newer ingredients, you're going to need to have like a little bit of a switch around. I can't imagine it's going to be crazy expensive. It shouldn't be, because it doesn't look like they have any multi-chromes. It looks like it's just like mattes and like shimmers, which, you know, totally fair. I personally wouldn't be getting it. It just doesn't really appeal to me, but you know, it takes all kinds of people to make the world go round. So there you go. And then we have Charlotte Tilbury, who is launching a new foundation in pen form. And I'm confused. I kind of can't figure out how this is going to work, but there you go. Like, she's saying it's in pen form, but I'm like, it just looks like it's a tube. You know, a standard stick foundation. But I guess, you know, we have to try and, I guess, market things in a slightly new way to get people interested. According to Charlotte, the foundation is easy to apply, blends seamlessly, and moisturizes. Should also have a soft drawn and lift effect. It's going to be available from the 20th of the 6th. It's their Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint, and it's available in 12 colors. Now, we don't know what those 12 colors look like, and if it's like a skin tint, you can get away with 12 colors. Fair enough. Knowing Charlotte, this is going to be very expensive. She's making all those claims of like a very natural finish, look like a second skin, and make the skin shine from the inside. Like a jack-o'-lantern, I guess. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the inevitable many YouTube ads that are going to come up of like, darlings, have you heard of my newest skin secret? Charlotte Tilbury's all right. Okay, I think there's definitely some products of hers that are really good, and then there's others that get like a crazy amount of hype that I personally don't get. I don't know. I feel like particularly a lot of her skin products are made for people who already have flawless skin. So you're like, you didn't ever need to put this on in the first place. Not that anyone needs to put on foundation, but you know what I mean. Like, I feel like I'm 34, my skin is aging, that's okay, that's part of life. But I feel like maybe some of her products would have been okay for me when I was younger, but now I'm getting those fine lines, I have a bit of texture, I am dry, etc. I don't find her formula is like amazing. There's definitely, as I said, some things that she does, like her lipsticks. I really enjoy those. I think they're great. Her setting spray, fantastic. I just find the complexion products and the eyeshadows to just be a bit like, we'll see what the story is though. Like, I'll reserve judgment, who knows. Like, I don't even know the amount of product that you're getting with this. When they're saying 12 shades, I don't know the depth of this. I would hope that there's inclusion here. Like, I mean, they've kind of shown some models there and it does look like it goes to a relative level of depth, but you never really know. We'll see what the story is. But we're talking about more foundations now, and this time it's Too Faced. They've released a new version of the Born This Way matte in the US with a new formulation, and it has a different packaging. So it seems like it's like a squeezy pumpy tube type thing. They say it has an oil controlling formula. I straight away know this ain't gonna be for me because I'm a dry bee, but I know this is maybe something that will work for a few of you guys, and it's said to last for 24 hours. Again, don't know why they have these claims, but there you go. I prefer more like realistic claims of like it lasts for 16 hours or lasts during an intensive work shift, you know, because if it lasts for 24 hours, what are those conditions? Is it just you sitting on your couch doing nothing, or is it you going out and doing like a really intensive work shift, you know? According to Too Faced, it's waterproof, sweat and moisture resistant and does not dry out the skin. Again, that's relatively interesting. They say that the foundation should feel light. I love the word should. Like it ought to. I hate the word should because it always implies something very weird. And it's not meant to crease and not meant to look cakey. Again, we've kind of really gone away from that 2016 makeup. It's described as medium to full. And that's interesting to me because it's kind of hard to do like full coverage and not have it look cakey. So we'll see what the story is. And they say that the finish is extremely natural. Ha, interesting. Medium to full, but it's going to give you an extremely natural finish. It's apparently going to come out in 30 colours. And unlike the previous version, the soft matte version comes in a tube. So it's meant to be better for travel because it doesn't break as quickly. As quickly? That's what they said here, by the way. This is what is in the post. It doesn't break as quickly. As quickly as what? As it did? It still implies there's going to be a certain amount of breakage. Anyways, let us talk about the fact that yes, there are 30 shades. And look, you guys know what I'm going to say. The deeper shades, where are they? Where are they? You're getting there with ganache and then you stop. I mean, there are no words really. It's going to be great for those of us who are pale and Caucasian. Hey, there's a whole armful of stuff for us. I just don't get it. 2024 and we're still doing this. I will say, I think maybe even some of those shades could go a little bit lighter as well. We've seen that with the likes of Made by Mitchell and how light he was able to go. Come on now, this is a bit ridiculous. Like they're claiming it's non-oxidizing, etc. And they've kind of compared the two foundations to each other. I'm not convinced. Like I'm showing you like the fair to light. There's not a lot of difference in those, is there? They say that there's 30 shades. Show me the distinctions because there isn't a massive difference in them, in my opinion. And then you get to medium tan to deep. And again, we're just not getting to a great level of depth. And then deep to rich, we're starting to get there. But we need at least another 5 shades. I just genuinely don't get it. Like at this point, what is going on that this is happening? And when you have a brand like Too Faced that has the collateral that they have, that they're not investing in that, it's really genuinely quite strange to me. I'm going to be really interested to see the likes of Gloria over on TikTok try this, because I feel like she'll really let you know what the story is, but it just does not feel as inclusive as it could be, in my opinion. And I love that we're moving from Too Faced to Polite Society. If you guys don't know, Polite Society is the former founder of Too Faced, Jared Blandino's newest brand, and he really is putting the bland into Blandino. There's nothing that's wildly interesting about the brand to date. Now, I have heard very good things about the foundation, but not so much that I'd ever bother getting from them. He's coming out with apparently some talc-free microfine loose setting powders. You guys know I've been saying this is going to be happening for ages now, more talc-free stuff. I'm not against that. There's apparently some vegan hyaluronic acid in there as well, and they're $34 in universal shades. So there's 3 shades: Universal Translucent, Brightening Petal and Brightening Peach. They claim that it minimizes the look of pores, it's oil and shine control, it's long wearing, and it prolongs wear of makeup, and it's also fragrance free. I think that's relatively interesting. They also have like apparently put this sort of tub in a particular way that's inspired by Champagne Coup, because you know, do we all remember the Rich Lives Matter cake that Jared did? The fact that this is inspired by Champagne Coup, I'm like, you're telling us about your life, Jared. Fair enough. But it's designed to have a curved sifter to hug and coat your brush for an elevated mess-free experience. Look, fair enough. I don't know how universal these are. I feel like, for instance, if you're looking at the shade Brightening Cream Petal. It looks a little bit ashy on the deepest model, and very interesting that when they're showing Brightening Peach, they really don't go to somebody with a deeper skin tone. Now these are all, by the way, pictures taken from, I think it's Trend Mood. Who even knows at this point? So there's kind of limited information on this, so bear with me. I don't know if I would necessarily say that these are universal. I'd need to actually see them. I appreciate that they're talc free. They're $34. There's not really much information on how much product you're getting in that. I will say, I'm going to bring up Archeo Cosmetics because I have them right here on on my desk. They have their pat powder. You get your net weight of 10 grams or 0.35 ounces, and you get your little sponge, etc. And that's an indie brand. There's way more colors available in there. I don't know. I think it's just because Jared gives me such an ick. I find it very hard to move on past that. Now, if you love the brand, I'm delighted for you. I think everyone should have something that they enjoy. It's just not for me. And that's fine. The other thing that he's coming out with is the V.I.P, very important palette, eyeshadow palette, $39. And it's the modern reinvention of your outdated browns to oh so now neutrals, really, that are so versatile, sophisticated and wearable. This is apparently coming out June 20th on their website and June 23rd on Ulta. You can tell this is from the founder of Too Faced because this is giving OG Too Faced. There's the obligatory pink and purple. These look so lackluster. The audacity to ask for $39 for a 9-pan palette. For a 9-pan palette. Where are you off to with that? And then the lightest shades are all shimmers, with the exception of the shade Big Deal, which is very pink toned. What even is this? And look, I get it. You're being all like, I'm expensive. I have a fantastic life. Like even the shade names are on the list. Big Deal, members only, all access, VIP, sweet life. I get it. You have money. Fantastic. Delighted for you. What a wonderful life that you lead. This is just, it's so dated. I love how he's saying like, oh, so now. And I'm like, no, it's not. This is 2016 at best. At best. I'm in a very sassy mood. I don't get it. I think the irony of having a shade in there called Big Deal when this is the least big a deal of anything that I've seen in a very long time. If this was on like the likes of Tint or whatever, and it's been a long time since I've been on those, but I would be swiping left. I'd just be like, nah, not interested. Not interested. The fact that this is full on Too Faced vibes. Like he might as well have just stayed with Too Faced. You know, like I think he was still on there as like a creative director, but obviously they got annoyed with all of his nonsense and he left and now he's done this, but it's the exact same thing. Ah, man. No, can't get behind it. I think it's so weird. Then we have Anastasia Beverly Hills and they have their Blurring Serum Blush. It's a hydrating soft matte liquid blush with a radiant blurred finish. It instantly diffuses imperfections for radiant bouncy skin, apparently. So there's 5 shades. They're $25 each. They're of course saying the whole thing of like the gel-like texture grips to the skin and it creates a flushed from within. And it does look very like clean girl aesthetic. The shades though, I think are very, come on now. They're $25 each. We have Guava, which is a peachy pink, Baby Pink, which is cool tone pink, Peach, which is a bright peach, Hibiscus, a bright pink coral, and Plum, which is a bright plum. Why is it that the sorry, I'm gonna sound like so preachy, and I don't mean it at all, but I've seen even people say in the comments of like, why is the only shade that's gonna work for me always a plum? And that's ridiculous. Like, why is there such a mismatch here? I get that they're probably leaving the door open for shade extensions, but don't have it be so disjointed that like most of those colors are going to work for me, yeah? But only one of those colors is going to work for somebody with a deeper complexion. I don't get it. Like, And I'll also say the shades themselves, nothing wildly interesting. I love that they say it smooths and boosts collagen. There's not a lot that you can apply topically that's going to smooth and boost collagen, and particularly at that sort of a level, I kind of doubt it. And there's also niacinamide. Yeah, of course there is. I'm honestly surprised they didn't put a bit of hyaluronic acid in, because like hyaluronic acid is in everything at this point. This feels very dated, and I like Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think they do some nice things, but this just ain't it to me. This is very like, where's the rest of it? Like, are they doing like the whole clean girl aesthetic? Like, it kind of looks like it in the way that they're showing these absolutely stunning models, let's be real. And I do see that whole like flushed from within. It doesn't even look like they're wearing blush, it just looks like they're very dewy and have been told a very, you know, whimsical joke, and they're sitting with their friends having margaritas being like, ah ha ha ha, my life is so wonderful. But I think a lot of these shades even look very similar, like hibiscus and peach. You can see slightly different undertones, but on the model it's going to look pretty similar. Like guava, peach and hibiscus are all kind of along the same tones, and then baby pink is so out there, which is grand, that's fair. And then there's plum. What about a nice purple? You know, what about a bright orange? I don't get this. I mean, it's $25. It's not bad. It's grand. There's something about this though that just feels very, very dated to me. Very dated to me. And I'm the person who, by the way, I love blush like to a scary level, but even I'm sitting here kind of being like, this is not necessary. This is not it. I don't get it at all. Essentially is what I'm trying to say. There's so much better out there, so much more inclusive. It's hard, really, I think, to come out with some good blushes these days, particularly if you're not having like really inclusive ranges that are gonna like work for a lot of people. Very strange to me. Anyways, the very last thing that we're going to talk about is a sneak peek. You know something is happening because Blend Bunny have changed their logo. This is what they've changed it to. And they've said, all that's left are these love letters, old photographs and bittersweet memories. Coming very soon. Oh my god, are we emotionally ready for this? They have discontinued their Forget Me Not palette. That's going, so that's one of their neutrals. It's not their only neutral. They have like the Dollhouse, which is a slightly more interesting sort of neutral. So I'm wondering, based upon this, are they going to do a very cool toned neutral? That could be genuinely very interesting. I kind of hope that. Maybe some like really nice bright highlighty shades, you know, with some like interesting dimensions, like something that maybe pulls from like a blue to pink to white type thing. That could look really, really nice. I'm interested. You guys know though, obviously, that Glisten Cosmetics have started to stock some Blend Bunny stuff. So for those of us who are in the UK, Europe, etc., they're a little bit more accessible for us now. So I think that's pretty cool. But my gorgeous friends, that's it. I'm not sure if I'll have a swatching Sunday, simply because the weather has been trash, and you know I like to go out into the sun to show you swatches, but it is currently like monsoon season. Are we surprised it's Ireland? Actually, I'm surprised I actually managed to get any days at all where there's sunshine. But yeah, there may not be a swatching Sunday, so we'll see what the story is. But I do have my favourite comment, and this is from the lovely Janet, who said, you also look incredible with your bangs pushed back. It isn't fair. Well, my friend, let me share a little secret with you. The only reason my bangs, or my fringe as we call it here in Ireland, was pushed back like that was because my hair was so grossly greasy that I couldn't get it to sit as my full fringe without it like grouping together and like into like fingerlets of grease. So I had to kind of push it aside. It's kind of slightly doing that today, not as bad, but yeah, it was either I had to take a shower, and that takes a huge it takes energy to have it. It does though, and I have to think about it. So I was like, I don't have the energy to film and edit releases and rants and have a shower, so it's gonna have to just be film. So no, that was not like a stylistic thing, that was a practical point of view. But can we just also admire the fact that the Botox does its work, because my forehead been looking good, although my husband is like, why do you even bother when you hide it behind your fringe? And I'm like, it's for me, It's not for anybody else, and it keeps the headaches at bay. But anyways, my gorgeous friends, thank you so much for watching. My first job, because I have 2 jobs, is kind of wrapping up for the summer, so I'm hoping I'll get a few more videos out. Like, I have this fabulous palette and collection that came from Saints, Angels, Sinners. It's right next to me. It's the Calvin Brockington one, and I really want to do a video on that, so I'm hoping I might do that next week, so keep a little eye out. There'll be some more like actual makeup-y, tutorial-y videos. I want to get back into that because I actually have some time. But my gorgeous friends, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell, and do please share, because sharing is caring, except of course for STDs, in which case just wrap it up. Don't be gross, but that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.